Sometimes you forget exactly what he's done, and it's incredible.
Well, I mean, even a relatively below par year last year would be,
118.
you know, it would resemble most players' careers, wouldn't it, really? And even this year on the European Tour, he has threatened, but will the door open this weekend?
78.
Tops not found.
And you require 126.
Gilding, again, it's another half chance, isn't it? Very similar to the first leg when he was on that 164. This is more manageable, more gettable, but it's not gettable now. Very loose, casual first start there from Gilding. Can't really afford to just...
76.
He needs to at least threaten, doesn't he? That was a bit of a whimper.
Won't envisage a whimper here. Van Gerwen leads 3-0 in pretty rapid time.
He might just feel as though he's got a point to prove that he is still the man to be beaten, the man to be respected, and the man to be targeted as well.
42.
We'll be targeting double tops once again. It's time for a 4-1 lead.
30.
Well, 164 again now. Gilding had a look at 164 in the opener, couldn't find it. It's again an unlikely steal, but it would be for a break of throw, and the first dart has gone astray anyway. And Van Gerwen looking at double five when he returns.
60. Likely require 10.
Look, I guess it's just about the win, but these players not only do they want to win, they want to win handsomely. Right now, it's just missed double after missed double.
8.
Wow.
And you require 104.
Yeah, he's left himself double one. There was, and he's done that regularly, hasn't he? Where he goes for 3 double one rather than 1 for double 2. Does buy you a little bit more time just in case. But
88.
yeah, Van Gerwen clearly had a lot of faith in his own ability there to get the double one.
20 missed darts at a double between them at the moment. They're 21 and rising.
No score.
Well. Now Gilding.
And you require 16.
For the break back. And to give himself real hope of making it a hat-trick of wins over Michael Van Gerwen. Gilding really capitalising on some below par finishing from Michael Van Gerwen.
Way of standing to the hockey, a slide to the left, and then goes through his process. He did have a couple of real wild darts yesterday where the whole body was searching for the throw, but no such issues at the moment.
Well, if you've had a minor flutter on Andrew Gilding on the 180s bracket, I think you can start making your way to the payout counter now, because that is 4 without reply, which is maybe something of a surprise. Gilding looking at 44 to get back on terms at 3 apiece. 18 for double 13. Which is not an orthodox way to go, but...
Well, surely he was going 4 tops, was he?
Well, he was a long way from the 4, that was the thing. I suspect so. But... yeah. I mean, it was, of course, very close in that UK Open final. Couldn't have been any closer. He could well go the distance once again on this occasion in Kiel. Double 10, not found. Van Gerwen, eyes light up. Knows he's got an opportunity now to really press home his advantage.
Bullseye for a 5-3 lead.
59. And you require 20.
I mean, interesting, we were just having a little giggle backstage when they were going for the bullseye, because he's barely won a bullseye for a while, Michael was saying. He's won this one. Could come back to the fact that he has the darts in the last leg. Are we going level again?
10. Likely required 25.
Well, he missed the bullseye in the previous visit. And now he's got 2 darts at double 8s. And Michael Van Gerwen breaks for a second time. 17 dart break of throw. Gilding punished. Gilding to level things up, 1-2-1. He's got 6 darts from here as well. But it will be MVG with the throw in the decider if we go that far.
There's the fear that as a commentators have virtually given Michael again for 9 legs of this game, and the realisation it's looking very much like a last leg shootout. And it goes back to that point that Michael did win that bullseye about an hour ago.
64.
We didn't think too much of it at the time. Probably the most important 3 darts of this match, because Gilding is going to be a dart away to take us the distance. It's back to tops.
Yeah, Van Gerwen, I've got to say, didn't really look as though he thought too much about where he was throwing in that previous visit as well. It was very loose. I mean, he knows he's got loads of ground to make up, but you never know. I mean, you've got to get yourself in position because you just never know what's going to happen. Gilding should win this leg, but it's not a certainty. It's not a given. Tops. Double 10. Into the decider we go. We are going the distance now. Opening match of the day here in Kiel. Michael Van Gerwen was in position. He was leading 5-3. But Gilding, to his credit, has got back on terms for a second time.
Doesn't have to start in the 19s, but it looks like he is. His eye line's going down there. Could leave the big fish. Could leave the champagne. 1-3-2. Best leg for a while, the best moments for Michael. He has had that 1-13 darter in this game in leg 7.
Yeah, 214 points is the cushion that he has, although Gilding's looking to eat into that fairly significantly, and that is 180, number 7. It might all be in vain. He's on a bogey number anyway. Van Gerwen from here, 82 away. He's got the other, double 16 for MVG. A brilliant finale from MVG. A real moment of magic as well. Andrew Gilding can only force a wry smile because he knows that MVG didn't play well at all in that match, but just one moment of magic ultimately settled it. And MVG saves the best till last. A 12-darter, and Michael Van Gerwen maybe, just maybe, on course.
Right, Luke Humphries comes in good form. Missed the double for a 9-darter yesterday. Would have been his second 9-darter on the Euro Tour. And he's on the 9 already.
The first player on the stage earlier practicing. He's meticulous in his preparation. Execution on the dartboard right now is just an absolute joy to watch.
I said it as a joke a few seconds ago. It's no joke now because Luke Humphries is on the 9-darter for the second time this weekend. He missed the double yesterday against Sebastian Białowski. Can he complete the job here?
57.
If at first you don't succeed, try again.
Not to be, but still an electrifying start to this contest.
Absolutely zero reaction from Ross Smith. A little wave to the crowd there from Luke Humphries. And when you're in this form right now, you just want to play games more and more.
76.
Fabulous start. It's going to be the 1 dart at tops.
36.
But where Ross Smith is, got a chance. Lots of options for this. Even in the 18s, potentially. Find a treble. Oof. Well, there wasn't much room to cram it between the wire and the first dart, but he found it.
56. Luke require 40.
Just the start he needed. He lost the bullseye in the back room, so he knew he had to break Ross Smith. There's no better time than the first leg of the game. He takes the ascendancy.
Ross require 126.
Took a gamble on the treble 20, one that did not pay off. Ross just giving himself a moment here. Knows this is a big little passage of play.
That's it to the game. I think he lets things. I don't think it was the fact he was just taking his time there. I think it was just more of a voice in the audience.
74.
Don't give Humphries anything, Ross.
Double 8s is found. Easy as that for the world number 1. 14-darter, 3-1.
Just got that all-round game now, hasn't he? That mammoth scoring. Clean kills on the doubles as well. Just absolute joy.
17s could help him out, but he can't find the treble. Ross Smith, 161. He will be going for this.
61.
I don't think he'd be laying up on this finish against Luke. Steely eye, steely determination, but no reward. Humphries has quite enjoyed this double 8 today, hasn't he?
97. Luke requires 16.
Pin it for a third leg running. He does exactly that. It is 5-1, Luke Humphries.
7 legs, Ross to throw first.
Well, Ross Smith is averaging 100. He's only had 1 dart at double.
Showing the signs of frustration right now. Double 19 for Smith.
433.
Ross Smith looks like a man who believes he can turn this around against the world champion and world number one, whose average has just dipped below 100 for the first time in this game.
I may owe this man the biggest apology. First time that double eight's been missed for a while. To be one behind.
James on the ninth leg, Ross Smith. To leg, Luke through first. Game on.
This is the leg. Luke Humphries, if he does not close it out here, Ross Smith will throw for the match.
Saviour of a last start. It's him in this game, but it's still very much Humphries in control. Certainly with that treble as well.
85.
One treble to get to a finish. Two trebles to get to a good. Oh, it's a killer of a first dart. Can he rescue himself? Going to.
40.
One bad visit could be the difference.
When you're 5-1 down, like you say, it's almost perfection. Salt in the wounds. He'll turn round. Humphries will come back for toss for the match. It was a ropey few moments for Luke Humphries as he withstood that pressure. Smith will leave a finish. It's Humphries for the victory.
When you've just lost 3 legs on the spin and you're under pressure, leaving yourself on a match dart after 12 is superb, and it is superb from Coolhand to close it out. Ross Smith made him work hard for it, and just when it looked like the game might turn around, Coolhand stamps his authority. The world number one is in the quarterfinals as he looks to get his hands on another European Tour title here in Kiel this weekend.
Qualifiers to get here as well. The qualifiers actually took place way back in February. I say way back as if that was 30 years ago, but he's had a long time to think about this one. So 7 matches he's had to play to get to this stage of the tournament. Very comfortable riding qualifying, I've got to say as well. He didn't really have too many problems.
100.
The only player that he faced in qualifying with any sort of European pedigree was Stefan Zietman in his penultimate match. 6-3 the score in that one. That was perhaps his toughest encounter.
121. France, you require 160.
So 160 to level things up. Noppert ready to pounce on 116 just in case. Noppert will get a look at this 116 as well.
100. Danny, you require 116.
One treble required. Oh, it's another cracker of a dart. Double 18. 2-0 Danny Noppert. Lethal stuff.
Danny Noppert. Third leg, Danny to throw first.
Yeah, picked up a couple of Danny Noppert 2-2-1 minus these. Looking for another break of throw. And going the right way about it as well.
His scoring hadn't been there until this leg. All of a sudden he's on a potential 11 darter. Rutsch once again sets up brilliantly from 170, having been unable to take it out, but this time he might not get a go at that double 18. Because Noppy has only missed 1 dart at double. Make that 2. Ooh, 3 in fact, and Franz does get a chance to make amends for those misses in the previous leg.
Well, he's had a look at double 18 already in this one. He's come inside once again with the first dart, over to double 9, and finally Franz Rutsch is on the scoreboard, and the crowd do find their voice. It is only a hold of throw, but it is something to work with. Luke Humphries in the semi-finals, so that will be a chance to make up serious ground on the higher echelons of that table. Yeah, Humphries second as things stand, with Shindy out of the way.
100.
Yeah, we'll probably have spotted the Grand Slam for winning one of these Euro Tour titles as well. Although you're never quite sure
you never know
until it's done and
100.
dusted. Now then Noppy. He's going to be on something here.
Could be 61. It is.
180.
Well, it was all smiles a moment ago. Franz Rutsch has to find a Shanghai to keep himself going in this one. He's looking at tops once again. And this time, he's just below the wire. 1 or 2 in the crowd thought it was in. But it's not in, and it's over to Danny Noppert on 61.
Gets the ball when he wanted the 25. tidies it up. Match dart, double 4 for a 6-2 win. He is so hard to beat, and too hard for Franz Roach in the end. Danny Noppert, a 6-2 victory. Once again, he's through to the quarterfinals on the European Tour.
This one, I mean, Damon Hetter's only got past this stage once this year. So, and Mike has got to have one eye on the World Cup as well.
91.
You know, he's qualified a good run here, and also he's in Rosmalen, where, you know, he could be representing Belgium in the World Cup this year also.
Yeah, it's something that he has touched upon before. He is currently number 40 in the overall Order of Merit, the 2-year Order of Merit. 170. It's on. Doesn't need to be aggressive, but he does go for it. And the big fish has been reeled in by Mike de Decker, and a nice acknowledgement as well. Even he spilled his beer in celebration. And Mike de Decker, more importantly, a 170 checkout that secures a break of throw with the 12-darter. Brilliant stuff.
Averaging over 117 on a European stage against Mickey Mansel. That'll feel like an eternity right now.
58. Damon, you require 111.
But you're only 3 darts away from success, and it's double 16 to really get back in this game.
95. Mike, you require 119.
Start with the 19s. Gets the treble. 62 away, can't find the treble. That leaves bullseye.
94. Damon, you require 16.
Well, that's the first dart he's missed at a double or the bull. Slightly awkward, that flight has just got in the way ever so slightly.
No score. Mike,
Well.
25.
Mike de Decker hasn't always had the look. You always sense that players played really well against Mike. Suddenly, when you start winning games, opportunity knocks, and he takes his chance again.
You require 137.
This is for the match. Is it 2 tops? I think it was. I'm not really sure with that dart, Mike.
$77. Damon, you require 116.
Well, this has to go, because I think Mike de Decker will be in the mood on this 60. 96 away. Gets the treble. Double 18. Lifesaver for Damon Hetter. Mike de Decker had the opportunity at tops. He was wayward with his first attempts.
Thinking Damon's beginning to find a treble. That's why the best players in the world, Rob, are ones who can just clear that mind.
58.
In fact, he's gone trebleless there, Damon. That opens the door ajar for Mike. And that first dart, he'd expect more. Gets more.
140.
140 to leave 140. Hetter on 204. Is this the opportunity now that de Decker's been craving?
$60. Mike, you require 140.
Needed more.
Certainly did. What a way this would be to win it. But setup plays good. Stays far away.
92.
Good, sensible play. I agree with that.
You require 144.
No problem with that dart as Damon looks at the 144. You sense it has to go. He's got a chance.
108.
I was about to say fair dinkum.
Mike, you require 48.
Well, that could be curtains for Damon Hetter. Mike de Decker, 2 clear darts at double 16, and that is all he needs. That's a very notable scalp, you have to say. Mike de Decker may well be the real deal in Kiel after all, because Damon Hetter, the number 2 seed, has fallen by the wayside. It's the biggest upset of the day so far, no doubt about it, but not totally unexpected, I have to say, given the way that de Decker has acquitted himself so far this weekend. It's another notable scalp, having taken care of Schindler and Ratajski before today.
To play. Steady from Ricardo. Nothing's going to frighten Richie Edow. A couple of trebles here would be nice. There's one.
96.
rescues himself with the last start there to get to a finish. Does he stay there? Does he move to the 18s? He moves and gets it till he tops. Oh, Richie Edow very nearly pulling out another big finish.
There was the argument to stay there for the lesser spot, a double 17, but not to be. He'll expect to come back. He will come back.
Very nicely done. Leaves himself on double 6. Doesn't matter. 16 darter, good enough for Richie Edow to hold his throw and open up a 2-leg gap here. It is not the fireworks that we've seen from him at times.
A really good game.
Another in there.
134.
Well, this is good from Ricardo Petka. He was a semi-finalist in Belgium, our first Euro Tour event of the year. He was threatening to win back-to-back Euro Tours because it was, of course, the final one of last year in which he played that he won.
170.
But since then, he hasn't done a great deal on the Euro Tour until this weekend.
It was that infamous moment with Luke Littler as well, wasn't it? Whether that sort of affected him and his reaction to that. But yeah, this is his best performance for a while. Can he see it out?
You mentioned yesterday how he came here with a couple of 6-0 defeats. Didn't look like he was going to throw this sort of stuff here this weekend, but he is. Richie Edow could be in trouble here. Double top for Pikachu to lead. 3-1 down.
34.
Just everything I like. He's composed on those doubles there. We've seen it was a long, long way, but Richie Edow was just a little reminder. Bosch, take that. Oh, he wasn't sure there for a second. He nearly did the dreaded playing on the stage just as well as what he's doing on the floor, and he's just smashing doubles in. And smashing that treble 20, and unbelievable.
First maximum of the match for Richie Edow. He's knocked down to a finish. It's 6 darts from here. Edow for a spot in the quarterfinals. He's not going to complete the job in this visit, but he is going to leave himself handily placed.
Yeah, you could have stood back, waved your arms in the air to that first dart. But a clean, clinical kill. Absolutely outstanding. He comes back for double 8 of the game and nothing a very impressive Ricardo Petka can do about it. Yes, he can leave it pretty and will leave it pretty. But over to you, Richie Edow.
16.
Richie Edow is a quarter-finalist in Kiel. Petka, Clayton, Aspinall, they've all been bested by Madhouse this week.
Glenn and I in commentary about Stephen Bunting does seem to be taking a lot more, well, on occasion seems to be taking a lot more time over his procedure, shall we say. There's the big glugs of water, just wiping his hands, and it's not every visit, but it is more pronounced.
It's often when he's got a big combination finish, he will really slow things down and compose himself. Saw him do it on the European Tour a number of times, did it quite a lot at the UK Open, did it at the Masters to great effect as well.
You know, and it's something he has spoken about, of course. He has visited a sports psychologist recently as well to address a few things, and maybe that's one of those things that he's been working on. Here we go, though, with Rob Cross on double 16 for a 3-2 lead to maintain this sequence of holes of throw in this match.
75.
If you're going to miss doubles, the best time to do it is when your opponent's back in the 300s.
$57. Robbie require 8.
Real nothing leg from Stephen Bunting here.
Games on the 5th leg.
That's dragged his average down to the low 90s, while Rob Cross continues to power on.
$434.
Good to see these two crossing swords on the World Series. Bunting's got a call up for a couple of the events coming up in the next couple of months.
93.
Be a triple header of New York, Copenhagen and Poland.
413.
And 72 becomes 36. Great response from Stephen Bunting. He was miles adrift of Rob Cross in the previous leg, but it's a role reversal in this one.
58.
And just the 58 from Rob Cross. 36. So Rob Cross knows that Stephen Bunting has opportunities aplenty with this one. He'll fancy a clean take for a 13-darter. That's the best leg of the match so far for Bunting's perspective. 9 darts thrown, but it's Bunting on strike first, and guess what he's been doing? He's been having his moment at the table. Owning the moment and owning the stage. Treble 18. Finds it. Bullseye to level things up at 5 apiece. Just wide into the 25s. But the big question is, Dan, will he return?
124.
This could be the first and only chance to break in the match. It would end the match if he takes it, and he should get a chance. Bullseye to win it.
Ooh.
86.
Yeah, he was a long way off.
Stephen, you require 25.
Finds only the single 12 to leave 38, but will he get the chance to have a look at the 38? 25 here is the target for Stephen Bunting. 2 darts at double 8, only needs the 1. And as sure as night follows day, Stephen Bunting levels things up for a 10th time. And into the decider we go, and it may well be that the most important dart...
Just stop Bunting even entertaining the thought of winning. What about a max, though? He needs another treble. And he does not get it. And he looks to the skies because he thinks it's done.
Well, this statistically could be the best leg of the match for Rob Cross. It certainly could be the most important. But he will have to return. Rob Cross looking very jittery as he threw that final dart as well. Bit of anxiety on the face of the number 4 seed. Bunting can only apply pressure here. That's all he can do. Rob Cross loves double 18 normally, but these are not really normal circumstances right now.
There have been no mistakes in the game. Stephen Bunting is now relying on Rob Cross making a mistake at the very, very end, because he will be there ready to pounce. He has done his bit, but can Rob Cross do his? He's been doing it all game. They both have.
Bunting asking the question there, why couldn't he have produced a visit like that in the visit before? But still work to do here for Rob Cross. And once again, there is simply no error on the finishing from Rob Cross. A brilliant match, an absolutely enthralling encounter. Neither player really put a foot wrong in that one, and you have to feel a huge amount of sympathy for Stephen Bunting there. But once again, surprise, surprise, he has lost the deciding leg on the European Tour in perhaps the cruelest of fashions. He deserves something from that, did Stephen Bunting. But
this man on double 18, so look out for that.
Yep. Loads to analyse, loads to sort of chew over as we settle into this one. I'm sort of fairly confident that we will maybe have at least 10 legs in this one. It's got that sort of feel about it, given the way, as you say, that Darl has really picked up of late. Ryan Searle does relish a battle at the best of times. This for a hold of throw. And a 110 checkout for good measure as well.
I'll tell you about that double 18. If I've got my maths right, Ryan Searle should win the next one on tops. They're just seeing that upward trajectory generally in the game.
Yeah, I think also we've got 2 players here who, well, certainly this year and maybe beyond that to an extent as well, have produced their better darts on the floor on the Pro Tour events, the Players' Championship circuit. Gurney, semi-final, and 2 times a quarter-final on the floor this year. We know all about what Ryan Searle's been doing in the Players' Championship this year, especially at the start of the season. Well, he went for tops there, but he's missed it.
He throws that flatty dart, doesn't he, as well? He has changes the flight trajectory. This would hurt. It might just take a little bit of magic to win this game. Bullseye.
87. W required 40.
Ooh, well, double 4.
Slip
up, but didn't matter in the end, and I think he quite enjoyed that one as well. But he does
really throw that dart and change the grip on that 60 finish. There was a A real funny one where he played Alan Souter at Players Championships, and Alan then, as they shook hands, said, "Can you just show me how to throw that flatty?"
100.
For one, I'm always fascinated by stuff like that. I love to learn and discover the intricacies that aren't
59.
visible to
require 160.
the untrained eye, such as mine, if you like.
Certainly nothing untrained about Darl G at the moment. Doesn't he look good for a 160 finish? Absolutely sublime for tops. Oh yes, that is stunning. And that is Darl G at his very, very best. Finishes now of 110 and 160. Gurney leads 4-1 after 5.
100.
Sort of feathers the dart in his hands. It's not as heavy. Listen to the punch as this dart goes in.
And is that something that players like to hear? If it sounds right, does it feel right?
Absolutely spot on. Feel is the most important word for me. You just see that dart flying and everything feels right. That's why you'll see 100. Players lunge. You'll see body movement when something as part of the process doesn't work. You'll see the shoulder come into it, the body move, the legs kick. But when everything's right, the feel of them darts going in like that, you'd expect this to go in.
Yeah. There she goes again.
130.
This one's bubbling up nicely, isn't it? Ryan Searle, bullseye, gets it, 130, break of throw, back in business, brilliant stuff. Darl Gurney was waiting in the wings there. Nice touch from Gurney as well, but it's a 12-darter for Ryan Searle.
Finish goes.
170.
Biggest of them all. Is that the 160? We've seen a 110 and a 130.
But we're not going to see the 170 on this occasion. But will we see the 116?
116.
I would not be surprised in the slightest. There's the 60, 56 away, back upstairs for tops.
76.
Nudges the wire, not close enough for Ryan Searle, and Gurney may well step in
72.
and break for a second time.
Actually physically seeing that target area move there. What a dart that is. 2 darts, a double 6. Big, big dart.
Gets it. Darl Gurney pointing the way. That's reassuring. Is this leg slipping away, and are we going to the 11th? That's more like it from Darl Gurney. Good first start this time. Can't capitalise with the second. Has a little guide there. Oh, a bit of a fly, I thought. Tailor-made for a treble 20 with the third dart, but it was loose.
Just means he has to change his strategy as he looks at tops. And I think the importance of not being on a finish, they didn't need to go down the 14 bull. He'd be feeling good for 5-5 because he's left on that double top that he doesn't often miss.
94. Rainey required 40.
Well, doesn't often miss, but he's missed it there. But he doesn't miss on double 10. And double 10 seals the 10th leg. And into the decider we go. 31 points the gap. What impression can Gurney make here?
100.
The players are so good now, Rob. Even a single treble visit, you think it isn't enough. The answer is
97.
yes, it was, because it's very much in the hands of Darl Gurney. It's his to lose from here, and that's what he just realised now. He's thinking to himself, 211 Darl in 6 darts.
$100.
Yeah, it doesn't look totally happy, and I'm not surprised either. Ryan Searle has the chance.
99.
Nothing to separate from the first dart to potentially the last. This for the match. He's going to get a dart for the match. It's double 16.
79.
Missed match start for Darl Gurney on double 16. How costly will that be? Ryan Searle steps in looking at 84. Now looking at double 12. Inside for double 6. And this time Ryan Searle wraps it up. He was 5-3 down in that one, but he somehow reels off 3 without reply, and he conjures up an all-important decider.
At least a bullseye on the 127. Just the one treble needed. One of the 2 darts. Doesn't get it. Cullen will be back.
It's nicely tidied up in the end.
Such an awkward first start. I can understand the switch, but once again, Madars is getting opportunities. It's in his hands. And when opportunity knocks, Razma takes his time.
But doesn't take his chance. This could be 4-0 Razma.
Joe, you required 12.
Talked an awful lot how he can play fast, he can play slow. I don't think it's suiting either the pace of this game at the moment, because Cullen,
No score.
despite the fact that they're unlucky, is missing opportunities himself.
Maras, you required 20.
15 missed starts at a double already between the pair of them. Razma rectify that.
He used that one. Oh,
10.
how has it not gone in?
Joey required 12.
Didn't think he'd get this chance. This for 2 apiece, and Joe Cullen will be laughing if he finds himself 2-all after this. Madars Razma could have won all 4 of the opening legs. Joe Cullen's had darts to win. He seems fine to just let the tension build because he can deal with it. I mean, he hasn't dealt with it very well in this game.
140.
Dealt with it a bit better. He could be nearly out of sight.
This is where the prowess on that treble 19 comes in handy. Treble 20 needed. Gets.
136.
Once again, how many times do we see these players leave that 170?
Oh, this is good. This is really good. Joe Cullen can find that green bit himself. Leaves tops. It's been messy at the back end of legs from Joe Cullen. Whether he's been trying to take out those combo finishers and not really taking big bites out of them, or throwing at the doubles themselves. That is miles off. But that finds the mark, and Joe Cullen is baffled how he's missed double top by such a big margin, but he's leading this match heading into that final, beating Labanauskas, Chisnell, Van Veen and Bunting.
$137.
Guess where he's left again.
I don't really know why either. I know it leaves a 170, a 20 would have left 167, but you get more of a benefit of hitting the treble 20 then. He's got 2 marker darts in there. Just desperate to leave the big fish. And why? Because you're not going to go for it, or are you? Razmataz. Oh, he's going to go for it. He's the big fish of the Baltic Sea Darts Open.
7th leg, Joe to focus.
And that's why we're sat in the commentary box and he's on the stage. Method in his madness for that big 17, remember, to leave that 170. That's a celebration. Going into this match, tops wasn't his friend in previous matches, but you dream of these moments. Why?
The dead cat shot. Creates a bit of noise in the room. Is it a distraction? Does it put Madars off? The quarterfinals beckon. Nowhere near.
If there's one thing that irritates me, irritates a player, irritates Razma, is some clown whistling on a match dart.
Gains on the 10th leg.
Almost apologetic there, Joe Cullen, with that double 13.
11th deciding leg, Joe to throw first.
Whoever that idiot was who was whistling there, it's not wanted.
Well, you're right,
Guys,
but he's missed 3 for the match. And Joe Cullen will now throw for the match. I mean, it's kind of an afterthought. a reaction to the crowd there from Matters Razma.
He heard it down with every dart. You don't want to turn. Matters has been the better player. Can he get over that winning line? Can he set this up?
100.
96 for the match, unless Cullen can pull this out, and it looks unlikely.
Be a worldie. Not even close. But once again, he's about to see he can get the crowd involved there with a set-up play for the match.
Double 20. A double 18. His 4th match dart. Only ever reached the quarterfinals on the Euro Tour once before. But he's going back there again. Matters Razma is our last winner of the afternoon. He sees off Joe Cullen for the 6th time in his career. And he's through to the quarterfinals here at the Baltic Sea Darts Open. He'll be taking on heavy metal Ryan Searle. Join us in a couple of hours here in Kiel, where we'll have the quarters, the semis and the final. And we are guaranteeing you a new name on the...